Yeah, I'm jealous, but I realized fame isn't the goal for me anymore. It's just going to be a byproduct of the shit that I do in this world, so I'm not tripping about the timing. But streaming ruined everything. Streaming ruined everything. And I think the bubble for streaming already popped, so Streamer University, everyone who's showing up there, I'm going to say prepare for like a 1% graduation rate. And pray to whatever you believe in that you don't do any stupid, like, ridiculous ass shit on there that's going to get clipped and then go viral so you can never get a job again because you decided to, like, say something, a specific word, at 19, as if you don't have to live until you're like 78. So the reason why I think streaming killed everything, and this is speaking in like a macro industry size, I'm talking about streaming music, streaming film, streaming TV, if you want to call it that, because you forget that, at least it's the tech companies, forget that they're waiting on the artist to create value to get people to use the technology, whether it's the radio, whether it's the television, whether it's an OnlyFans platform. You need the artist on the other side to sell the technology, or else there's no fucking point in having the technology. People will just go back to eating fruits and being naked in nature. But mind you, these like corporate finance and tech bros, especially in the entertainment industry, ruin everything, because all they do is sit there with like their statistics degrees and just go, how can I find the best way to make as much money as possible and leave as little return in the creative community and as little contribution possible to creative culture, and then also continue to enslave the artists that create me any value by making them make as much free shit as possible in hopes of getting a big deal, which will never come. And if they do make any money in that time, I'll just recoup all that for myself, because I won't let them know or allow them to be financially literate enough to understand that I'm fucking them the whole entire way until they deserve that deal that I'm selling them the dream of. What I'm trying to say is that, especially with like COVID coming around, these tech companies got way too greedy, and they've pushed, social media put us in an age where it's not even artists online anymore. It's people who can sell content or sell ads through content will get pushed before artists. And you have to hope that artists have a team of people that can do that for them. If you don't, then you're going to have to be on that team yourself, and you probably won't if you're doing it organically. So the people who make content get the opportunity because they're the ones that the businesses and whatnot need to sell ads. Then they get the creative opportunity, and more times than not, they're not artists. They were just good at like pimping out the algorithm, or they were attractive enough, or just like, they were just literally attractive enough to become viral organically. But it's not necessarily that their art was good or valuable at all, or that people even had time to digest it and appreciate it. It was just that they were consistently going viral enough for the purpose that was greater than actually like contributing to the culture or the community. Now, that is where I think the creative artist turned, or at least started shifting into needing to become more of a content creator than being allowed to be compensated or invested in to be the creative artist, so we can keep having art regardless of what technology we were deciding to push. But again, COVID pushed us inside, made us like really forced us to use these tech platforms that aren't even that good. And then the tech companies started to think like, I think it was a little bit before that, but COVID really showed us these tech platforms, and the CEOs thought that they were like gods, or they really saved the whole entire world from going into just absolute oblivion and chaos. So these guys continue to undervalue the creative by saying, create at this pace of, instead of us going through yearly cycles of rolling out projects and doing creative campaigns and marketing and really having to invest in the artists that we are recruiting or we're holding on our roster, you're going to do all that fucking work yourself. And we're going to make you compete for attention space with people who are literally just recording themselves. And again, streaming is not a problem. But what I'm trying to say is that when we've decided that streaming is the new popular model of like communication, because it's just like everyone's too lazy to like go in the real world and have friends and shit, we abandon the appreciating the artistic process. Well, I mean, before all of that, we're fucking up attention spans like nobody's business. But we abandoned the longevity and the length, the investment that it takes in the creative process. And how most creatives, other than being just like crazy like people, we're not on. Like, we can't just turn it on for like an audience every single day. And streaming forces you to be in this position to where you have to be able to turn it on every single day. And like perform every single day. But even worse than that, it's like the point isn't to sit and dig into the inspiration and then create something on the other end of that. The point is like, how long can I maintain your attention and like shuck and jive and entertain you right now for as many times as I decide to click onto this, and how consistently can I do that? Think about this. I understand there's entertaining people, but like, what value do you provide to your life on the other side of that after streaming for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Like, I sit here and think, like, how do any of these political streamers, like, how are they even able to stay up to date with real information? Not just like real information that's not just sensationalist like mainstream media, but how are they able to read books? How are they able to network with other intelligent people? How are they able to really build their own independent psyche when they have to spend 8 to 12 hours a day babysitting their fucking audience? How can you even make real art when you're babysitting your fucking audience? And this isn't me saying like I hate audience members or like my community or any of that. I'm just sitting here saying like the creative path that we're making, it's been abuse the artist and then completely abandon the artist by forcing them to compete with these like marketers basically, and then abandon the artist completely in exchange for whatever the most effective type of marketer is at the current point. And then what the marketers don't understand, because they actually think they're artists now pursuing these creative careers, now we're going to abandon the marketer as well, who hasn't been able to uphold any kind of standard or really reach into any kind of culture, because we're going to replace them with AI artists, because we've gotten so far from actually even appreciating the artist, if we've ever even done that. Under capitalism, we never will. To the point where we think that we can just decide what people want and then give them art, rather than understanding that art is a process of really being attracted to, inspired by, touched by, feeling, and by emotion, bro, and by the connection that comes from it. And only in your awareness and your own psyche, your own intelligence, can you truly appreciate art on all the different levels that it can be seen and digested at. And that isn't something that AI can just like churn and spit out for you. But not even going too far to the AI route, just saying like the consequences of streaming, what I think are, instead of actually being able to have the time and space to make art and like create a culture where people can be appreciated in their own time, rather than everyone constantly fighting for like the one mainstream position, like Kai Cenat's like bathroom like toilet cover. The streamers and then content creators subsequently, hopefully I'm using that word properly, I'm probably not. The streamers are just creating controversial content. Like, you're gonna see in this world, if we continue to invest in that shit instead of investing in like genuine artists and like long form, in-depth art, you're just gonna see a bunch more of those, like, what was that dude that got arrested in like Korea or some shit? And then you're gonna see that dude like Vitaly, the dude that got arrested for another 20 years or some shit. You're just gonna see a bunch more of those people trying to push the line so far into, I can do this degenerate shit not because it's stupid and I'm stupid for doing it, but because I have to entertain my audience of people who makes me feel more important than anybody in my real life ever has. So I'd rather sacrifice every bit of my real world to entertain these people online who might not even be real, could be AI bots for real, rather than figuring out how I can leverage these online platforms, like these fucking online platforms are leveraging my attention and my creativity, to not only compensate myself, but create a world and get onto a journey to where this is only beneficial for me, and when it stops being beneficial, I can throw that shit away. Too long didn't read. The streaming bubble is dead as fuck. You will not be a streamer, and just go ahead and just go back to school.